Welcome to the program. Hold on a second here. Better get the theme music blasting. Here we go. Yeah, so today is February 4th, 2021. And we're about to catch the evening bite tonight. It's going to be sweet. I've actually been fishing since about 2 o'clock. Sorry, let me get a little closer here. I've been fishing since about 2 o'clock. The first spot I tried, no bites. Saw some fish on the flasher here, no action. What's going on, Struckus? Welcome to the party. So far I've tried my first rig here on my dead stick. I've actually changed it. Last week, you might remember I had like a spoon and then a dropper to a treble hook with a minnow. Well, today I've got a dropper hook and it goes down to a jig. Actually, it's not a jig, it's a jigging spoon now that I think about it. So I'm using an experimental bait here. I've got a shrimp tail on the top hook and a minnow on the bottom hook. I figure they'll at least go for the minnow, but we'll see. It's been a little bit slow so far today. On the other line, I've got thrown down this classic since it's been pretty slow. This looks a lot bigger than it is. This is probably one of the smaller ones they make. Maybe it's the second size up. Sabio vibrato really hits the spot when the fish are going a little slow. You get the smallest one down there. What's up, Brent? So, I'm going to switch the camera around here so that we can look at the rods instead of just looking at my face while I fish. But I'll try to switch back and forth here and there, to vary it up a little bit. I was starting the fire in here and, oh man, it was getting so smoked up. It was unbelievable. I had to stand outside for a bit. So that was pretty extreme, but it's under control now. So, okay. Sorry for the bumpiness here. Sorry guys, this will be over shortly. Just adjusting the tripod. I think it was good to have this in view last week. So we got dead stick on the left, and then we've got active stick on the right with the flasher there. Just make sure that flasher's in the right spot. Yep. It's a lucky song. Oh, we've got action. Oh, here we go. It feels like a feisty one. I'm gonna say a big feisty perch. Oh boy. Oh man. I think that might be my perch of the year, folks. I think that might be my perch of the year. That's awesome. Okay, let me get a good shot of this. She's a beauty. Nice and juicy. I don't know if it's my fish of the year, but it's got to be up there. I know I always do this for good luck, but I got to throw this fish back because good luck, I think I'm the only one with that superstition, but let me see if there's There used to be a tape measure in here, but for the sake of the life of this fish, I'm going to say she's at least a 12. All right, here we go. And she hit the minnow. Hit the minnow. Now I can show you the rig. So here's the top hook here, and that's got a shrimp tail on it. I was eating, a bag of shrimp earlier today. I'm sure you guys have all done it. And then I was like, oh, I can't get the meat out of the tail. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Maybe I can use that as a perch bait. So this rattle bait here is made by Northern Tackle Supply. Josh McKay hooked me up with that. It's almost like a rattle spoon. It's exactly a rattle spoon. Anyway, hot pink seemed to be the way to go. Sorry if I'm missing any chat here. Just getting this bait hooked up here. All right, so minnow down with the bait on, shrimp tail up high. Sorry, things are going quiet here, just adjusting line to perfection. Oh, is that the minnow or is that another fish? 27-inch pike, eh? Sorry, I'm just getting caught up on the messages here just because I was mucking around, No, David, I don't often get used wire leaders. My dad does, though. He uses them for everything. I don't know if it works for or against him. Yeah, I drove around to Callander on the weekend there and saw the whole shanty town going on there. I don't know if you guys saw the ice report I put out there today. I just got a little shot of all the action there. And I got a strong minnow on here. He's really making me think something's going on. Yeah, so there were trucks and everything on the ice, and I'm like, wow, it's so quiet where I fish and so very busy in Callander Bay. Today, Darren, I'm at 19.7, which is mysterious because I'm in the exact same place I was last week, but apparently it's gained a foot. I must have this thing not set up right. Maybe not. Discrepancies in the readings on my Garmin, but it's somewhere between 18 and 19 feet, I can tell you that. Yeah, as far as leaders are concerned, yeah, I don't think I ever use them. I think even when I'm fishing for pike, I just sort of put on a stronger fluorocarbon lead up, but not like a wire leader. Fluorocarbon seems pretty resistant to pike biting off. Fred, I am definitely cooking with ice tonight, and the weather's warm too, so it's a real barbecue. Yeah, Struckus. Yeah, no problem on the shout out there. I keep on forgetting, like a lot of times I'm like, I should be shouting people out because there's lots of different people around. And, you know, sometimes guys making videos in an area and, you know, local YouTuber, you know. So I decided to, I usually shout out a couple people when I can. I cook with ice even in the summertime. It's more difficult then, though. Welcome to the show there, Andrew. There was some definite really cold weather here, Ryan. I can tell you that much. And the other day I was walking out on the ice and I thought for sure, like, oh yeah, all this slush is frozen. And then today I was walking out and I was just like, you know, WTF. And I just stood in like 8 inches of slush. I was just like, come on, slush. Like, I guess the snow really, really insulates it well, and it must be just continuously pumping up in those spots. But overall, the water is not pumping up through the hole like it was at one point, or at least I didn't notice it today. But there's definitely some ice around or slush around the pressure cracks. That is for certain. So hopefully this lockdown is going to be lifted. I haven't really been paying super close attention, but I see other people talking about it. And I'm sure, you know, I'd like to go to Canadian Tire and walk around the store. You know, I miss it. I don't even really have anything to look for. But, you know, I'll know it when I see it. I think a lot of people have that kind of attitude towards shopping at Canadian Tire. There you go, Brent. That's a whole new line that we can add to the next version of the song. That's good. I like that. See what's going on over here. Let me know if that's too bright. Maybe I can go into. Whoops. I'll let you watch this rod instead of watching me muck around with the controls of this. There we go. I recall the backlight was a problem last time. So let's turn it down right away. Whoops. Oops. All right, I'm going to move a little bit closer here. Yeah, my landlord lends me this ice hut here, and it's pretty sweet when I can get out here. I also don't mind my clam flip up though. It's pretty sweet, and I've gotten quite accustomed to using it really well. Beagles Ramsey, greetings from Glasgow, Scotland. Awesome. Thanks for coming to the show. Welcome to Lake Nipissing. Is that Diener, the Diener, that Joel Turvitt was telling me about? Where is Joel in this mix here? Last week, the walleye bite wasn't too bad. Right now, it's not really happening, but I did catch a very decent perch there. So that's good. Earlier today, I actually had the underwater camera going. It was still, like, because of the hut here and position of things, I wasn't able to get a good view of my lure from one of the other holes in the hut. But the water was quite a bit clearer, and I can tell you that there were a lot of clams down there. Serious amounts of clams. And some sort of mystery blobs. I couldn't really tell you what those were. They looked like rocks, I guess. But like, almost like somebody dropped a cat food can down there. I don't know though. Could be something natural. Come on, big fish. Yeah, it's sweet to sort of dream about the things you'll be able to do when all this stuff is over, right? Yeah, it'll be sweet to come back to the bay here. So many lakes, so many great places to go. It's like I'm looking forward to heading south to see family and friends. You know, I got a lot of peeps in Toronto and the Southern Ontario region, as that is where I was from. I know a few people that I work with live in town, and they always have stories about crazy crackheads pulling stunts. My coworker had his shed broken into. I've been fishing Craig, Nipissing, for going on 9 years, I guess, since I moved up here. I hadn't fished it before. I did once stay in a hotel. It was at the hotel with the trains in the front there. Is that place still running? I forget what it's called. But my wife and I stayed there on our way from Bon Echo Park on our way up to Shining Tree, Ontario. We were renting a cottage up there. And that was the first time I had seen Lake Nipissing. And then, 9 years ago, I moved up here. And now I've seen a heck of a lot of it. And I like it every time I look at it, you know? Hespeler, Ontario, eh? Nick? I don't know if I've definitely never been there. Burlington I've been to, though. My wife's brother lives there. Anybody ever go carp fishing in Burlington there? I bet you there's some sweet spots. The biggest walleye, Craig, that I've pulled out of here was 24 inches, and it was in, I believe it was the end of February into March, either early March, because obviously the season closes mid-March, so I'm pretty sure it was in some of the last days of the season. I actually find that I've had some real banger moments right in the last few days before the lake closes. But yeah, 24 inches, and the biggest one I've ever seen caught was, I'm sure some of you guys are familiar with the video I did there with Fish Chaser 67, where he caught that big gal. That was a beauty. That was the biggest walleye I've ever seen in my life. It was sweet to be there. Cambridge. I got a buddy in Cambridge. Went to a wedding there. David, I was just asking if you've ever gone carp fishing. Oh, here we go. Fish on. What do we got? It's another juicy jumbo. I guess I'll be keeping this one. Let me get easy going. Oops. I'm just going to take this fish outside here, put it on the ice. We'll be back. All right, I'm back in the game. Sorry guys, I should have given you a better look at that fish. It's another, it's a juicy jumbo, that's for sure. So I'm gonna hold on to that one. Hopefully I can catch a second one, and then I can have perch dinner. Guess this is the moment where I'm like, I should have held on to that first fish. Then I would have been eating dinner. This is a pretty juicy one though. Okay. Yeah, 24 inches is my personal best. Brantford. I've been there. Had a buddy grew up there. Hespler's part of Cambridge. Huh? Yeah, I'm hoping to see a giant walleye. That'd be awesome. Actually struck us with the perch. I put it in a bucket of water in case I end up not catching enough for a meal. Then I'll just be like, all right, well, this guy's free. That might have been the same fish, but first time he goes back down the hole for luck, and the second time if he or she is coming back up, then I guess it's time to keep him. It was meant to be. Yeah, I've heard lots of good things about Bear Creek Outfitters. I haven't met them in person myself. Thank you, Cedric. Yeah, I've heard about people bleeding their fish. I've never really tried it myself, but it makes sense. I assume everybody cleans their fish immediately, or do you put them in the freezer? I don't get why my camera seems to be going in and out of brightness, whatever. You should give carp fishing a try, David. Once you haul in one of those juicy, greasy monsters, it's hard to forget. Hey, Dave, fishing isn't bad. Caught 2 nice jumbo perch. Could have been the same one twice. Not really too sure. You guys have the Grand River in Brantford, right? Yeah, I do find that freezing them, if you're going to freeze the meat for later, definitely a bag of water or putting them in water, you can stretch them out for a long, long time as long as you keep that freezer burn right off them. As soon as freezer burn gets on a fish, oh, it's cat food, you know? And the point is to not let that happen. Yeah, I have seen demonstrations on YouTube of people bleeding them out and comparing like the meat. I should give that a shot. I think I read somewhere online someone else was using shrimp as perch bait. I've heard about using a fisheye. I bet your dad's pretty happy about that, eh? Breaking all his rocks. That's a good idea, Darren. Hopefully I can catch myself another perch here and make that happen. Yeah, like carp fishing is not, especially in Ontario waters where you have a lot of fish who aren't really used to being fished for, because most people turn their nose at them and say they're garbage fish. But they, in Ontario, like, you know, when I was fishing in Rice Lake, we would be catching, you know, each 10 fish or so in the, you know, around the 10 to 35 pound range. And it's all about these rigs called a bolt rig, which is this super duper big sinker and then a really short line, and then you put a boilie on it with a hair rig. And once you figure that out, the idea is that the carp sets the hook against the giant weight, and so things usually go from 0 to 60 in a big rush when you're fishing for carp. It's pretty awesome. I missed it, and I'm really sad about it. And it looks like I'm going to miss it this year too. I've heard about people using shrimp for like rainbow trout as well. Yeah, I have seen bass go after some weird stuff. Hot dogs, eh? Did you try to shape the hot dog into something that was like fish-like or spider-like or something, or did you just throw it on just straight? Yeah, usually anybody who I know who I've exposed to carp fishing, once they give it a shot, they're pretty damn into it. Like, the craziest thing is that they're like huge fish, and there's so many of them that like you get a chance to really fight some monsters and try your mettle, if you will, at handling big fish. Yeah, I haven't really looked into the Striker 5. I've heard about this new transducer that goes with the Striker 4 that is more appropriate for ice fishing. I've also seen that it's very expensive. At least the transducer is. It's almost as much as I paid for the fish finder. I've had this Striker 4 for a while. How much more is the Striker 5 than the Striker 4 as far as price is concerned? I assume it looks quite similar, right? Gummy bears. That's pretty awesome. Do you have a favorite color of gummy bear to use for the spring rainbows? Sounds like a pretty hardy bait, too. Yeah, usually when you're carp fishing, yeah, we throw out like a combination of oatmeal and corn, creamed corn to be precise. And you also, on your bolt rig, you have like something that's called a method feeder. That's your sinker, but it's got like a cage on it, so you can really mesh a ball of chum on there. Gets the carp all riled up. Yeah, definitely that 500 bucks would hurt the pocket a little bit for me. Is that it? I didn't see that price when I was looking for the ice transducer, but I should take another look. That price isn't half bad. Green, eh? I would have thought that a red one or something that looked sort of egg colored or orange maybe would be a good one for the rainbows. I have tried using gummy bears for carp, but they didn't work as well as the fake corn I was using. US prices. Yeah, that would get me. It's like, unfortunately, the Canadian Canadian dollar is pretty low compared to the American dollar, so that 120 bucks ends up looking like something a lot more like 200. Smoke a 3 paper. I think I'm going to change my lure. Let's see what I got. I'm also going to turn on a light in here. Come on. Turn on the disco lights here. All right, let's see here. All right, because that's an LED, it's gonna make this weird ass flicker that's going on. Maybe I'll turn that one off until it's really, really dark. All right, so I was changing my lure here. And you guys out there just fish with minnow heads? When I was fishing with Cranman and Fish Chaser 67, those guys were all about just trimming the minnow right away. Oops, let me show you what I got here. So I got it was funny last week, my brother was on the chat, but I didn't recognize his handle. So anyway, I got the jigging wrap, hot pink, UV with them on the bottom. Find this one's pretty successful for this time of day. Pulse with moderation, eh? Can you guys still see fairly clearly? A slab wrap. I'm trying to think if I got one of those. Pretty sure I do. That's one of the newer ones, right? It's like the lipless rattle bait. Yeah, definitely. Some people swear by the minnow heads. What's kind of creepy about it is that you cut the minnow head off and his head's still wiggling around. I'd rather be fishing. I'm not too sure what the outfitters are saying. There has been chat about it. I don't know if anyone else knows. I haven't seen anybody with anything solid. Come on, fish. I think I need to adjust my transducer because I can't see my lure. You guys can look at that rod for me. I see. All right. That's working better. My transducer is pointing in some weird direction. Not sure how that happened, but it definitely wasn't helping me any. And I guess I wasn't really paying close attention. Yeah, I guess next week is the time. I assume that the outfitters will want to get busy with it as fast as they can and try to salvage what's left of the season. Have a good time at work there, Dave. Come on, fish. All right, I'm going to turn on this light again. So I guess the gas station across the way from me started selling shiners. That's a good move because it's down a long road. Not a long road, but a long driveway to get to this gas station. I think it's called the Arrowhead Gas Bar. And I was just like, who wants to drive all the way down there when they can just go to the next stop and get the Eagle's Nest gas station, you know? So the other day I heard they had minnows, like shiners. And I went and I drove all the way down there. I got great service, got my gas and my minnows at the same time. I didn't have to go very far. Yeah. Yeah, they've got, I think it's 2 bags of shiners was $10. Single bag, $6. I don't have a lot of storage for live shiners, so I just go for the 1 bag. I usually go to Trapper Joe's, and actually where I'm working now is pretty close to his operation there, so I'll probably pop in, see how he's doing. Tiny pink jig head, the minnow. I'll have to give that a shot there, Chris K. I'm sure I have some jig heads somewhere. I don't know if I got a small pink one though. Like, how small are we talking here? Are we like below an eighth, or is the eighth perfect? Come on, fish. Yeah, exactly. It's perch are moving slow right now. It's getting to that, definitely in the walleye time frame here, so they could show up anytime. Wait, I think there's a fish on my fish finder. Oh, he disappeared. There was a fish. Now he's gone. Yeah, the spot out here can be really hit and miss. And right now, it's a little slow. I think my landlords there said that they had some slow days the last couple of days, but there's been some good days here too. It happens, So, would you rather clean 10 perch 10 times or 100 perch once? Yeah, I definitely would get sick of cleaning perch after a while. Can't deny that. Probably about 15 perch is the max that I would want to clean. Yeah, I don't know how long it would take one to clean 100 perch. I sort of do. Some people have, like my brother has this super fast cleaning method, but it involves like dragging the blade through the guts of the fish, which I don't care for. I like to do like the butterfly method, where you sort of go around the rib cage and the guts instead of just right through it. I like that better. But to do 100 perch in that fashion would be incredibly, incredibly tedious. Craig, the lure I have on is the Rapella jigging wrap. Huh. I wonder if that dried chicken crushed into powder, choked them all out or whatever. I'm not sure. I was having a big problem with keeping shiners alive. And then I ordered this little portable bubbler, and I just run it for an hour in the morning, an hour at night, and it seems to work really well. I've Over the years, I've definitely made use of lots of jigging wraps, and they are a great lure for sure. Sometimes I sort of stop using them for a while, and then I pick them up again and realize they're an awesome lure. It happens. I was having pretty incredible luck once with a lure called the crippled herring. I was about to call it the pickled herring, but that wouldn't be right. Crippled herring. So it's just like this spoon, sort of shaped like a herring, I guess, and just a big hook on the end. And the perch really liked that one. And then I stopped using it. I probably haven't used it for 4 years. Don't ask me why. I caught lots of fish on it. I am about half a kilometer from shore. Yeah, right now I have on the jigging wrap just a little piece, or pardon me, not a little piece, a very small minnow, the smallest one I could get out of the bucket. I understand these jigging wraps sort of swim in a circle. Looks like that sun's going down. Just gonna close the window here. It's starting to get a little chilly. Hi, Steve. Welcome to the party. Your wife poisoned your minnows, man. That's hardcore. It's all right, Steve. I figured where you were going with that. Tim, we caught 2 very big perch, or the same perch twice. Sorry. Whoop, here we go. What's it gonna be? Holy shit. It's another jumbo. Man, they're real fat today. That's a big fish. Just for comparison here, just gonna put my boot in there. All right. Of course, he's gonna be. I'll get him off the hook and then you can take a look at him. It's no doubt a lady. So I've seen a lot of smaller perch today. Oops. Or not, correction. All the perch I've seen today have been big. All right. It's another juicy one. Wish there was something I could compare this with. It'd be nice if I had a ruler. Anyway, the perch is big, okay? It's probably at least an 11. That looks like we got perch dinner for tonight or tomorrow. Let's see if we can get one more, eh? In the 6 minutes we have left. The minnow, full minnow jigging wrap combo. Hopefully it's nice and appetizing. That's a nice sized perch. That's 2 beauties. Let me tell you. I've been wondering where the perch were this year. Not that I'm catching crazy numbers, but catching a few juicy ones is totally worthwhile. Yeah, I wish it was a 10-pound walleye. Lindy flutter spoon, eh? Probably have one of those. That's for sure. I have pretty much everything. My jigging technique. Yeah, if my wife poisoned my minnows on me, boy, I'd be like, what are you doing? What are you doing poisoning my minnows? They're my buddies. It's funny because the sun is like almost down and we're still, like, I know usually I've had a few good perch come in this time. Nathan King, here's a question for you. You say seven striper. Don't they all have seven stripes? I think I mentioned a fish or perch being a seven striper to somebody, and we counted the stripes on every fish that came in. They all had seven stripes. That fish I didn't see on my sonar there, Brad, but it could have been on there. I just missed it. See, I keep a few dace minnows in my aquarium from last year's ice fishing season. And what I did was I kept a goldfish in the aquarium with them to show them the ropes, is the way I put it. So the goldfish knows how to eat fish food. So you put it in with the minnows and it teaches the minnows how to eat fish food. And all of a sudden, your minnows are great at eating fish food. But of course, that's for an aquarium. You know, you can't really, if you got minnows you intend to take out to the lake, you got to be being very wary, obviously, not to keep, to take your goldfish with you. So it gets you in a lot of trouble, no doubt. Okay. Thanks for the info, Struckus. I didn't know that. Seven striper, eh? Huh. Sevens go back, eh? Well, so far it's been, oh, I think there might be something down there. 8 bars. The 8 bars must weigh like 5 pounds, eh? I've seen these perch they have over in Europe there. Quite impressive. They're like the size of bass over there. Oh, oh. We got somebody in the mix here. Come on. It's down there. Okay, so they were eating the chicken, eh? How did you get the chicken so dry? That's a question for you. Is it like chicken jerky? Perch vanished, eh? I'm using the 200 KHZ today. Oh, the microwave, eh? We got to fish up high here. Let's see if we can. Huh. You figure the Cisco or Pike are hanging out Slightly above the bottom, probably, eh? And disappeared. One thing I got to see on my underwater camera there that was pretty neat is I actually got to see one of the mud puppies. And I can tell you that they move real slow. Real slow. But I guess that's why they say don't leave your minnow like on the bottom, because that's where they make their appearance. But they're definitely interested in your lures and minnows and stuff. It's just, they just sort of gum around, you know? Well, folks, unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to disappear here. If you give this video a thumbs up. I know a lot of people seem to be viewing these, most people seem to be viewing these after they've happened. I'm always curious if people sit and play the whole thing and read through everything, or if they just listen to a little bit and see how they like it. Yeah, we'll see you next week there, Craig. Struckus, thanks for showing up. David Bennett. You know, I'll be thinking hard and long about how to dry a chicken in the microwave. Maybe give some of my chubs some of that, see how they like it. Yeah, Steve, thanks for showing up. It was great to figure out that streaming doesn't really take that much data. And I got a new deal on data and stuff like that, so I should be pretty good. All right, we are shutting this down. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you next week.